It is 7 p.m. and I'd like to call this meeting to order. While this meeting is being held in person, we are also offering the option for the public to participate via Zoom if preferred. Instructions on how to participate virtually are included in the City Council calendar item listed on the front page of missionks.org. Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Robin, please call the roll.
Rod. Here. Hayden Posey. Here. Mosa.
Here.
Ryder. Here. Green.
Here.
Schmidt.
Here.
Josie.
Here.
Carpenter Davis.
Here. All right, we do not have any special presentations this evening or issuance of notes and bonds, so we'll move into our consent agenda. Our consent agenda consists of 5 items tonight. Our council committees met on August 5th and fully discussed each of these items. The committees agreed that the items listed on our consent agenda are routine enough to be considered under a single motion. If a council member or member of the public would like an item removed from the consent agenda, they may request that at this time. If not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
Mayor, I move the city council adopt the consent agenda as printed, items 4A through 4E. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Hayden Posey.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Bond.
Aye.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Mosa.
Aye.
Josie.
Aye.
Ryder.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, next we'll move into public comment. If any members of the public would like to make a comment on items not included on this agenda, now would be the time. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Yes, come on up and state your name and city of residence for the record.
I'm Rocky Valentine. I've lived in Mission for 32 years. It's a great city. Thank you for all that you do to make it a great city. I'm here to talk about the most iconic landmark in all of Mission. I live on it. It's 61st Street. It's the trees on 61st Street. If you Google 61st Street, Mission, Kansas, Osage orange trees, this is what comes up. The trees were planted as living fences before the invention of barbed wire. Also, these trees mark the historic watering stop at 61st Terrace along the westward Santa Fe Trail. That's pretty cool. That's iconic. I've lived on that street for 32 years. How can we make that iconic landmark even better? How about some plaques telling people about the history of those trees and that way on the westward Santa Fe Trail? How about some new roads? I live on 61st Street, and I want you to go home on 61st Street because they're the worst roads in all of Mission. That's our iconic landmark. Curbs, same thing. Look at the curbs. They're the worst curbs in all of Mission. How about some sod? Our parks look great. We do a great job of our parks. For 32 years, all I've looked at on our iconic landmark is dirt and weeds. If you need some help, I'll do it. That's what I'm here for. Thank you for your time and thanks for what you do.
Thank you. Do we have any further public comments? Seeing none, we will move into our Planning Commission action items. We do not have any items coming forward from the Planning Commission this evening, so we will move into our committee reports. Councilmember Schmidt, will you please provide a report from the Finance and Administration Committee?
Will, thank you, Mayor. The Finance and Administration Committee met on August 5th and considered 4 items. The meeting minutes and Warner Stellian Appliance Company picnic at Mohawk Park were considered under the consent agenda earlier tonight. A resolution establishing the 2027 solid waste and stormwater utility rates and a resolution for surplus property will be considered under the regular agenda this evening. First item is 7A, a resolution establishing the 2027 solid waste and stormwater utility rates. Johnson County requires all utility rates to be certified no later than August 25th each year so they can be incorporated into the annual property tax and special assessment / utility billing process. Oh, we have some feedback. No, you're fine. I can wait.
As to your position description.
All right, thank you for whatever you did to fix it. This certification deadline occurs in advance of the city's overall budget adoption deadline of October 1st, requiring the governing body to formally establish these rates before the remainder of the 2027 budget is adopted. The proposed rates were reviewed as part of the council's 2027 July 29th budget work session, during which the governing body discussed the assumptions supporting both utilities and expressed general consensus with the proposed rates. Adoption of this resolution formalizes those rates for the 2027 budget and authorizes staff to certify them to Johnson County by the required deadline. The proposed 2027 utility rates are stormwater utility, $28 per equivalent residential unit per month. Solid waste utility, $211.08 annually for single-family residential properties. Approval of this resolution satisfies the county's certification requirement while allowing the remainder of the city's 2027 budget to continue through the normal budget adoption process, culminating with final budget approval later this fall. Mayor, I move the City Council adopt the resolution establishing the 2027 solid waste utility and stormwater utility rates for the City of Mission for certification to Johnson County.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any public comment on this item? Seeing none, any council comments or questions? Yeah, Debbie?
Do we have an opportunity to look at the stormwater utility fee and the other fee in concert with what we're asking for residents if they want to come seek a rebate based on income? Are those factored in at all?
I would have to do a quick look and see. I think that we did actually increase the stormwater utility fee. I'll look it up here and let you know. But yes, that's part of it. I don't think 100% of the solid waste utility fee is rebated. The thought being that you're a user of that service as a single family property owner. But let me find that very quickly for you.
Thank you.
All right, any other comments or questions? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Josie,
Aye.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Crane,
Aye.
Camosa,
Aye.
Hayden Chomposi.
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Ryard,
Aye.
motion carries.
Item 7B, surplus property. City Council Policy Number 111 requires that the City Council must approve any real or personal property valued at over $5,000 for sale or disposal. Property valued at less than $5,000 is reviewed and approved for disposal by the city administrator. Each department, in consultation with the Deputy City Administrator, will be responsible for determining the best method for disposal in accordance with council policy and state law. Items to be declared as surplus include 5 parcels of city-owned property. 2 of these parcels were discussed at the July 8th Finance and Administration Committee meeting, including 5534 Broadmoor Street and the parcel directly to the southeast, which is parcel KP 02600000008. The 3 remaining parcels to be declared surplus are the Mission Transit Lot parcels, which Encore Land LLC, Sunflower Development Group, is purchasing for $250,000 as part of the Encore Project Redevelopment Agreement approved at the May 2026 City Council meeting. Mayor, I move the City Council approve the resolution providing for the sale or disposal of surplus equipment from various departments.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any public comment on this item? Seeing none, any council comments or questions? Yeah, Ben?
Thank you, Mayor. So I have a little bit of an issue with a couple of the parcels, those being 5534 Broadmoor and the parcel to the southeast with all the zeros. So just briefly, the concern I have is that 56th and Fox Ridge and Metcalf, that sort of intersection cluster, I think is one of the more dangerous ones in town. And if we were ever to look at anything that would let us maybe reroute that traffic, I think those 2 parcels are key to that possibility, even if it's not on the, the near future on our horizon right now or anything we're budgeting and planning for. I'm hesitant to surplus these parcels and sort of cut ourselves out of that possibility in the future. So for my part, I would prefer to see us not surplus 5534 Broadmoor at all. And I would like to see the parcel to the southeast with all the zeros, either preferably include a strip of right of way on the western edge so that we can preserve that option as much as possible down the road if we are going to surplus it. I don't know that I would like to make an amendment to the motion if you all are going to support it, but if you're not, then I won't bother us with the whole spiel. So however we want to go about that. And then I don't know, Laura, if you wanted to add anything about that. I spoke to you about these concerns. So hopefully I laid it out.
Nope,
clearly
I think
enough.
you
Okay.
shared what you shared with me, and I wouldn't have anything to add to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it might be helpful for everyone to have a little bit of additional context about where the street redesign idea came from in the first place. I think just so everyone in the public who's here too knows what we're talking about,
Sure. I think that as part of the West Gateway Visioning Study,
which was a long time ago.
which was done in 2000, I don't remember, 7 maybe.
Okay.
Um,
Yes.
2005, yes.
Yeah.
So there were a number of sort of bigger picture, what I would call more sort of visionary things that were considered. One of those was bringing the Metcalf Johnson Drive intersection at grade. This was the reconfiguration and look at essentially the extension of Broadmoor kind of curving through those parcels and connecting with Fox Ridge was also looked at as an alternative. Part of that whole design included signalization of the 56th Street and Metcalf intersection, which we know in recent conversations on some adjacent development projects is not it's something that KDOT is willing to entertain. They were not at that time.
They're still not 20
and they're
years
still
later.
not 20 years later. That proposal also looked at basically dead ending Fox Ridge on either side of 56th Street and creating a cul-de-sac.
So you would have very long cul-de-sac from the north, and then
Mhm.
Fox Ridge would dead end, and then one from the south,
Yeah.
and then
So essentially
instead
you would
Broadmoor
be-
would connect into
In order
56th.
to access and I can't think of the name of the
Fox Ridge, I
business
mean.
that's right on the corner there, KB Complete and others.
Yeah.
A couple of businesses that you would have to, if that plan were to be in place, that street would dead end. You could access Broadmoor by turning off of Fox Ridge further to the north where that section would connect.
So it would put Broadmoor as kind of a cut through residential areas, right?
It effectively, that street would be adjacent to some of the existing residential properties as it curved and connected with
Mhm.
Broadmoor. And that's, one of this 5534 or whatever the number is. That was a parcel that was purchased specifically to sort of preserve that. The house went on the market and that opportunity was preserved. There would be other land that would likely be necessary to acquire in order to complete that improvement at some point in the future.
And again, this was all tied into also needing KDOT's cooperation relating to Metcalf.
Correct.
Okay. Which they've shown no indication in 20 years of cooperating on.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Wanda?
So do we have potential buyers for those parcels?
We have had some interest expressed in at least one of the parcels that we've recommended to surplus.
Well, just a point of order that I guess that if he wants to make, it occurs to me, and I'm not sure, that we already had a motion and a second. So then the person that made the motion has to then accept a friendly amendment. Is that not correct?
Friendly amendments are out of order in our rules. We have to make formal amendments.
You have to make a formal amendment.
A formal amendment. Okay.
Correct.
And you would vote on the amendment and then the underlying.
You would vote on the amendment.
Yes.
I'm having a flashback.
Yeah,
to
right. A couple
last
meetings
month's
ago.
meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, you would need to formally amend that motion. We would vote on the amendment and then you would vote on the underlying motion.
Yeah, Debbie, and we'll go back to you, Ben.
Okay. Is there a recommendation that you do hold on this for so long, or what's the time frame for this?
Well, if we ever decide we need to get rid of 56 and Fox Ridge, which if I had the money, I'd do it today because it's terrible. do you want to go knock a house down instead? I mean, what does the time frame need to be on that question is my answer. I would say indefinitely is reasonable to me on this one.
Yeah, and Laura, just to clarify, the plan that this came from did not look at only dead ending Fox Ridge separate from addressing 56 and Metcalf. It was all one.
I believe it was all
Thing, right?
one alternative,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, my initial thoughts, and we can entertain whatever motion or amendment, but my initial thoughts are, and if you might not have the number right off the top of your head, Laura, but what's our outstanding stormwater project balance and our outstanding street project balance? I'm just thinking about priorities and whether realistically in the lifetime of a house, we have
Right.
priority or budget to be adding streets to our network and looking at additional property acquisition around this and trying to convince KDOT
In
to
the
do
short
something that
term,
they haven't
I
wanted
would
to do
say
for 20
absolutely
years.
not. I think Councilmember Chosie's vision extends beyond the short term.
Well, I mean, short term, KDOT
Yes.
hasn't changed its position for
Correct,
20
in
years,
20
right?
years.
So
Right.
short and long and yeah. Oh, yeah, Ben.
Well, so you'll notice that the amendment I'm proposing has nothing to do with signalization, cul-de-sacs, or a particular solution at all. The project that's come and gone is irrelevant to my point, which is if we need to fix it, we have nowhere else to go other than these parcels. And that's the extent of what I'm saying that we should plan for in the future. This would be an improvement if we only took the extension of Broadmoor and didn't signalize or make cul-de-sacs. But I want to leave those details to the day that they actually become necessary to sort out. For me, it's just probably not planning well for the future of this particular intersection needing replacement. Yes, there are many things to balance, and I understand that you all have different feelings on how those balances shake out for your vote.
Yeah, Debbie?
Do we have any impact or any input from the residents and how that's going to impact them?
Well, there were strong feelings back when this was initially proposed, is my
Correct.
understanding, right?
Correct.
And I know I heard it knocking doors 15 years after, 20 years after that too.
I mean, we don't have a specific proposal for
Right.
improvements there. What we have been approached several times over the last, I don't know, probably 5 years or so, is there has been interest in people acquiring those parcels, generally for the construction of additional single-family homes. I didn't hear that last part. The interest has been, as we understand it, to be purchased for then the construction of single-family home or homes.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Wanda? Oh, Mary, did you have, I was like, I didn't see him. Yeah, Wanda?
Yeah, I guess that my thoughts are, I think we're putting up a big housing area over there. I mean, we're doing a big development and we really can't foresee how that's going to, isn't that in the area, still in that area where we're, yeah. And I guess we can't foresee everything that's going to happen. So in support, which is kind of a shock to me, I kind of agree with him. And that's just my comment.
That's fine.
Well, yeah.
Ben, did you want to make an
Sure,
amendment? I
if
don't
we-
think we have an
I'll
amendment.
Avoid the straw poll. I can avoid the straw poll and just put it to the question if you're ready for that.
Yeah, were you looking to make an amendment?
Yes, please.
Yes, yep.
Mayor, I move we amend the resolution providing for the disposal of surplus parcels to strike 5534 Broadmoor and the parcel to the southeast ending with all the zeros and the 7 and 8. Yeah.
Sorry, the southeast,
The parcel to the southeast of 5534 Broadmoor that's also included in the
so
resolution.
striking both properties in full.
Yes, the second one in anticipation of potentially, carving out some right of way and coming back, but that's
Okay.
not substantive to the motion.
Okay, so we have an amendment. We need a second on the amendment, correct? Yeah, Wanda, second. Okay, so I guess we will take now, we have a motion and a second, so we will take any public comment on the amendment or underlying motion.
Correct.
Yes, come on up and state your name and residence, city of residence for the record. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes.
My name is Dylan Cease. I live here in Mission, directly adjacent to one of the properties being amended currently. Yeah.
Our microphones are kind of tricky. You have to talk like right into it.
Line. I think it's half unplugged. That's all right. I'm Dylan Cease. I live directly adjacent to the property being amended here. I have a much longer format that I was going to email to you all, but I'm not quite ready to do that yet. I would just like to say that I object to keeping that property and any possibility of it being a road. I'm pretty sure I speak for most of my neighbors when I say that as well. And just be careful, please, when we discuss the current status of projects on that corner. You spoke as if it was a foregone conclusion when it is not. But thank you.
Do we have any other public comments? Laura, did you have a comment? No. You look like you were going to say something. No. All right. So we have a motion and a second on the amendment. Is there any further comment or discussion on the amendment? Yeah, Sam?
I seem to recall, and this might be incorrect, but did we not bake in the sale of these properties into our budget?
We did not.
No.
It was a decision package, which we said in the event that we were able and the council wanted to move forward with surplus and selling those parcels, that we would use those proceeds. We had discussed dedicating those to the purchase of financial management software, the website update, and then potentially any remaining funds to start building for replacement of some of the public safety initiatives, particularly radio replacement and or records management systems that we know are coming in the next couple of years. So it does not impact the bottom line of the budget currently, but we would want to go back and revisit if we're not going to do that. It's not an immediate situation that we would have to revisit in the budget.
Other than the financial management software has been on that list and not made it on since what, 2014?
Correct. And we did just receive notice in the last couple of weeks that our current provider is officially going out of business in 2028. So we do have to make a decision and make a move at some point in the next year.
And the website compliance deadline for ADA accessibility is also 2028.
April of 27.
28.
Yes, 28. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So both would have to be solved for in the next year, but not necessarily
Correct.
this year. Okay.
Just clarify for me, we're just voting on, what are we
The
voting?
amendment,
You're
so Ben's
voting on the
amendment to remove
amendment
the two
The
parcels.
amendment?
Yep.
Yes.
We vote on that first and then the underlying motion. Yep. Any further comments or questions on the amendment? Yeah, Brian?
My only comment is I'm somewhat feels like it's going to come down to the wire on this for me, and that I can see both sides of this. I've always been hesitant to dispose of city-owned property because it's something you can take it back, but it's quite difficult to do so and expensive. At the same time, I recognize that the proceeds of that can be used towards improving staff efficiency, something that we can continue to reap the benefits of for year over year. I'm also of a mind that adding additional street square footage is expensive, and we have a hard time paying for what we have. I'm mostly saying these just to get out into the public, kind of what I'm trying to balance here with this, and then I find this one a little difficult.
I see some nodding heads. Do we have any other council comment or questions on this one? Seeing none, Robin, please call the vote on the amendment.
Champosi. Aye. Bond.
Does I mean, yes, I agree. Yes, I.
Move forward. Ryard. Nay. Mimosa.
Nay.
Ring.
Nay.
Schmid.
Nay.
Carpenter Davis.
Nay.
Josie.
Aye.
Motion fails.
Okay.
Thanks for hearing me out.
Yeah, no worries. That's what we're here to do. Okay, so now we have a vote on the underlying motion without the amendment, which is to surplus all of the properties listed,
That's
correct?
And you have a motion and a second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further council discussion on the underlying motion?
Can you just
Yes,
briefly
Debbie?
remind me why we had that parcel to begin with?
Which parcel?
The 5534.
As part of the West Gateway visioning, right?
Because it was purchased envisioning that that extension would be made.
Because it was
In
up
that
for
near-
sale.
It was
right?
up for
This is an
sale. The house was
opportunity.
up for sale at about the time that we were coming off of that West Gateway Vision Plan.
And it's still zoned R1, right?
Correct.
Yeah, Mary?
How long have we, when was the parcel purchased?
I want to say I bought it and it was one of the first things I did when I got here in probably 2005 or 2006. So it's been a while.
Mayor, one more.
Oh, yep, Ben.
This is just clerical. So in the motions and things, we have the parcel ID on the long one with the zeros ending in an 8. We have it correct in the resolution in the packet ending in a 7. But I just
Okay.
want everybody to be clear in case you're out there, hurriedly trying to put a bid in or something. It ends in 07, which is correct in the resolution.
Well, and I think we talked about at the committee meeting that our plan would be to proceed with accepting sealed bids and we need to establish a floor on that. But obviously we would leave that up to the discretion of the council to accept or reject any bids that you would receive as those came forward. I did want to mention, and I intended to do it during the budget presentation, but was reminded again with this that, one of the questions that we get sometimes as we look at development projects and incentives is how are we looking to sort of balance or relieve a benefit or provide a benefit to existing property owners. And this $250,000 land acquisition is certainly, that's if you think about the budget presentation, that's about the equivalent of 1 mil, which is just an upfront cash, no strings attached. We can spend that as we choose. So that was one of the things that I know was important to the council, along with many of the other things, including the revenue sharing that was negotiated as a part of the Encore development plan.
Yeah, Debbie?
During the bid process, does someone have to divulge what they're going to do with the property?
No, but if they wanted to do something different than the zoning required, they would need to come back and go through a rezoning process.
And the 5534 Broadmoor and the adjacent Broadmoor parcel, as indicated in the packet, are both R1.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Robin, please call the vote.
Cardosi,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Nay.
Ryard,
Aye.
Mosa,
Aye.
Spring,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Josie,
Nay.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Motion carries.
That concludes my report.
All right. Thank you. Now, Councilmember Carpenter Davis, will you please provide a report from the Community Development Committee?
Thank you, Mayor. The Community Development Committee also met on August 5th and considered 4 items: the meeting minutes, traffic signal mast replacement, an agreement with Evergy for Rock Creek project utility relocation, and a localized stormwater design scope change were approved under the consent agenda earlier tonight. No items will be considered under the regular agenda this evening. That concludes my report.
All right. Thank you. We do not have any unfinished business or new business tonight, so we'll move on to comments from the City Council. This is an opportunity for comments from our council members. Does anyone on the council have something they'd like to share this month? Yeah, Mary.
I just wanted to acknowledge Mr. Valentine's comments about the Osage oranges because I have a giant Osage orange in my front yard. I live on Maple Street, so right off of 61st, and I love the history around those. From what I understand, this used to be dairy land, and cows don't like the feeling of the roots under their hooves, so it was natural fencing. I would love to see that strip zhuzhed, so to say, like you said, and I think plaques would be really fascinating as well. So I just wanted to thank you for sharing that history with the rest of council. So thank you.
Any other comments this month? Yeah, Debbie?
I just want to thank Public Works, specifically Brent and Stephanie, for giving us the information on the streets. It's chaotic. I'm telling you, I picked my grandson up at North and it's chaotic. People are going left and right and they're honking at each other. It has to be done. I mean, I'm so glad the west of Lamar to Metcalf is being done. It's been years since we've done anything with that roadway. It's always on the east end. I'm happy to have it done. We're just going to have to get through it and we'll make it. And people are just going to have, their patience is running low since the utility adjustments, but I think we'll make it. And I want to thank you for keeping us informed and communicating to the public at large, you know, what your dollars are being used for. So thank you.
Yeah, Brian?
I'll second that and also just add, most of the time, the complaints that I hear are due to just unclear or no advanced notice. So I think anything we can do, even if it's on Facebook, just to let people know exactly what's going to be closed when, which I think you're doing a good job of. But that's I hear more complaints around that than the fact that the street is actually closed. It's that people feel like they didn't know about it. So I know we already do what we can, but just to keep it in our heads that seems to be the pain point.
All right. Next we will, oh yeah, I missed one. Sorry, Wanda.
That's okay. I just wanted to thank you for coming. We really appreciate the public coming and giving comments.
Yes.
It takes a lot, and we appreciate your noticing what we're doing, whether we like what you say or not.
No, always looking for public participation. Love it. Love to have a lot of folks here tonight. That's great. All right, next we will move into our council committee liaison reports. These reports allow the entire governing body to stay up to date with the activities of our boards, commissions, and committees. So first, we have council members Hayden Chomposi and Chosi for sustainability.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Okay. So it was they met August 3rd, and a bulk of the discussion was about the plaque for the Mission Vale project. We discussed how they are trying to meet the sustainability standards that have been set out for new buildings in our city. But after that, their sites currently are on how to make composting for Mission residents possible. So there was a lot of research and discussion that's been done, specifically looking at Prairie Villages program, which is the program everybody is looking at right now. And then also additional discussions on both the green business certification that they're hoping to bring together for our local businesses, as well as additional strategizing around how to get people to recycle properly and well and frequently. So a lot of education on their minds over that way. Did I miss anything of vital importance?
No, I think it's interesting. Just we did spend a lot of time on the scorecard for the Mission Vale 2 project, and I think it's continues to be an interesting example of that sort of missing middle development coming to fruition, and how that developer has found that particular townhome form factor to be repeatable and workable, both within our codes and within the city. And as well, I think it's interesting that just the way that particular style of construction is required to go up, it actually makes it very efficient thermally. There's a lot of just, spaced walls on thick insulation and things, firewalls between the units. And I found the whole thing interesting. We're fortunate to have that wealth of knowledge and insight that we have on that commission to help with the scorecard process. But seeing in particular how that townhome kind of development fits in with our goals on land use and sustainability and is viable for a developer is, I think, a really good example of what I hope we can see maybe repeated 1 or 2 more places.
Great. Let's see, next we have council members Camosa and Carpenter Davis for Parks, Recreation, and Tree Commission.
Yeah, Parks, Recreation, and Tree Commission met on August 10th. We were supposed to meet at one of the parks, and we had to pivot to the community center due to the heat. Among the many items, commissioners discussed the ongoing annual tree sale. There's been some information shared on social media accounts over the past couple of weeks. It's a great partnership with Bridging the Gap and the Sustainability Commission that sells trees at discounted rates, with the goal of improving Mission's tree canopy. Some commissioners will also be tabling at the Mission Market tomorrow with more information. So swing by if you're interested. The old Beverly Park sign was repurposed as a second sign at Mohawk Park, which I thought was a great reuse. Something that I was excited about. Kansas City Symphony will be returning with the mobile music box. Am I breaking news to people? Yeah, the mobile music box at Mohawk Park on Sunday, October 18th at 6 p.m. That was a hit. I know I had a great time the last time we did it. And then as a reminder, the community center remains closed this week and next for annual maintenance. It will reopen on September 1st. Among items addressed are they're fixing the indoor slides. I shouldn't say fixing, updating the indoor slides. The stairs, the hardwoods, they're cleaning windows and they're painting handrails in the stairwells. That's just many of the, there's a lot of drywall dings and stuff that just to make it a good facility. So that concludes my report.
Great. Next, we'll hear an update from Councilmember Kring on Mission Magazine.
We did not have a meeting in August, but our next meeting will be held at noon on September 1st.
Great. And finally, Councilmember Schmidt and Bond on Family Adoption Committee.
We did not have a meeting this month, but we intend to have one in September, and things I think are on track, correct? Yeah.
Great. Let's see, Laura, do you have anything you would like to share with the council tonight?
Yeah, Ms. Books has a few things and do you have any questions on the interfinancial?
Does anyone have questions on the financial reports that are in our packet?
If not, then we'll let Robin go and then I just have a couple.
I'm not seeing any questions.
Good evening. I have, it feels like 3 departments worth of updates for you all, but first we have some business updates. New businesses opening in Mission or coming soon. Smart Spot KC at 6862 Johnson Drive. The 6124 Art Boutique at 6124 Johnson Drive. BDB Holdings, which is a retro resale type of company at 5860 Beverly Avenue. Runny Top Retro Shop, 5411 Johnson Drive. The Mitsu Sato Salon, 5832 Johnson Drive. Mission Dental, 5437 Johnson Drive. And Danny Crispin Counseling at 5500 Woodson Street. So look for those new businesses in your day-to-day shopping or services needs. Yeah.
What was the first one and what is it?
Smart Spot KC, and I believe they do tax and accounting type of services. I'd be happy to send you a link if you'd like later, but I believe a services-based business.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Going into the faux shop.
Ooh, is that the 6124 Art Boutique?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
I believe it's the Art Boutique,
Art boutique.
art gallery type of space.
Nice.
Yeah. Not open yet, but coming very soon as far as I understand. And then pivoting a little bit to some of our local businesses have started planning some fall events. So tomorrow at Fiorella's Boutique, the fall open house from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, September 19th at Lulu's, the fall sidewalk sale from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, August 29th, our friends at Truly Madly Depot and the book club have come together with new business Runny Top for a vintage market in the sort of green space next to Truly Madly Depot at the east end of Johnson Drive. So the vintage market, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. They have vendors that sell retro clothing and books and posters and shoes and all the things we should have saved from our like youth and fun things to look at, I think. And then our wonderful organizers of the Oktoberfest are back for year 2. So mark your calendars for October 3rd from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Broadmoor Park. Event will have a lot of the similarities from last year. They are looking forward to starting a little bit earlier that day. No road closure necessary. It'll be a similar format to what we're doing at the Broadmoor Park for the Mission Market, but they'll have live music all day, beer tents from both Sand Hills and Rock Creek, a bunch of food vendors. I'm looking forward to welcoming like the Rushton Elementary PTA. They're hoping to bring the North Booster Club families out to sell North gear. They are working with other businesses that may want a table or tent at the event, so it should be a good time. And they are working on some advertising pieces, so keep an eye out for graphics and things to come soon. And then a small other pivot you will see at your seat tonight. I put out a 3-pager. That is essentially a printed out copy of a constant contact that we did to all of the Mission businesses about a week and a half ago. And it lays out all the different ways that businesses can get involved in the city's 75th anniversary street dance. So that is now we're going to split those up between a few of us here at City Hall and deliver those to businesses over the coming days. So if you have any inclination to do some community outreach to the businesses, let me know. I'd be happy to give you a few to hit up. Or if you have a business owner that's a friend and you want to reach out to them and see if they want to get involved, we'd love to have you do that as well. I can provide whatever materials you're looking for. Yes. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
that's one of the ones that Laura and I talked about quite extensively today. They'll be a great fit. The costume contest that you see on there is sponsored by Fiorella's Boutique, and then our friends at Wonder and Woe will be sponsoring a kids activation zone inside their storefront, which is right next door to the Mission Theater. So a really great partnership there. So we're looking forward to some more of those business partnerships as we continue to plan out our marquee event. And then just a quick reminder that we have 2 weeks left of the Mission Market. So tomorrow night, we're doing a food drive for the Mission Community Food Pantry. So if you're coming out, please feel free to bring canned items, personal care hygiene items, cleaning supplies. We have a list on our website or on social media. And then next week is our final week of the Mission Market, which is wild because I feel like I was just standing here reminding you that it started and now we're ending. But it's been a great season. We appreciate your support, especially with the transition. And I'm happy to answer any more questions. Yes, beautiful weather. We have some great food, Thai Orchids there. So if you're a Thai Orchid fan, get your Thai Orchid fix in. And yeah, I think we've got some great vendors. They could use our support since last week was rough.
Robin, can I ask a very important question on
course.
behalf of a toddler who goes to bed early?
Yes.
What time do we know will the costume contest be?
We're
Or
hoping to
can
be
you-
the costume contest early.
Okay.
So the band will be playing from 6 to 9. They will provide us with some fun, like curated Spotify playlist music from 5 to 6, kind of hoping to slide that costume contest in there right about maybe the
Got it.
5:45, 5:50 time before the band takes the stage. Yes, absolutely. Anything else I can answer? Thank y'all.
Thank you. Laura, do we have more updates?
Very quickly,
Yeah.
sorry if I can
You're
make it
good.
through. And I failed because as Councilmember Hayden Chomposi and Camosa will tell you that we heard a very dynamic speaker at the Mark Regional Assembly,
Oh.
Mayor
yes.
Watson of KCK.
Oh,
And I told him I was going to do my budget presentation like that. And obviously I don't have the voice for it this evening, but several of us did have the opportunity to attend that event, which is always a great celebration of people who are doing some really incredible things throughout the region. So it was a privilege to be able to do that. And then just a reminder that the block project we've talked about on a couple of occasions is scheduled to be back in front of the Planning Commission next Monday evening. And then it is scheduled to come before you all for consideration for the zoning entitlements on your September 16th city council meeting, which will be at 7 p.m. here in these council chambers. And I know we've had some questions about related to incentives and a variety of other things. The developer has not yet formally made an incentive request. So right now we are just exclusively looking at the zoning entitlement piece for that project.
And Laura, just to clarify on that last comment, because it is a new project, nothing from the smaller prior project carries over in terms of incentives, et cetera. It's all a new conversation.
You kind of start
Yeah.
renegotiating from scratch. And that's all I have this evening.
Any other comments or questions for Laura? Seeing none, we do have a need for an executive session tonight. So the governing body will adjourn to an executive session for the allotted time. When that time has expired, the governing body will reconvene to do one of the following. Extend the time required for discussion and return to executive session or continue with our regular city council meeting. As a reminder to the public, the governing body may take no binding action in an executive session. I would entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move the city council recess to executive session in accordance with KSA 75-4319 B2 for consultation with the city's attorney. Also attending the executive session will be City Administrator Laura Smith, City Attorney Jacob Turner, and Police Chief Dan Madden. The open meeting will resume in the council chambers in 30 minutes at 8:13 p.m.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none. Oh, sorry, Ben.
Just for the benefit of the public, this is the last agenda item and adjournment is at the end of this. If you don't feel like sitting
Good.
around,
That-
just come back and adjourn. That's for your benefit.
All right. Robin, please call the roll.
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
Ryer,
Aye.
Hayden Chomposi.
Aye.
Josie.
Aye.
Oh, sorry.
Wait,
I called you twice.
I can't aye twice. Yeah.
Seth,
Aye.
Green.
Aye. Again.
Who's missing?
Davis.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, it is 8:15 and we have returned from executive session. Before we adjourn tonight, I want to share with the public that the video from this meeting will be available through a link on our website at missioncast.org. There being no further business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.